Hello and welcome to National Focus. I'm your presenter Mervin. Thank you for joining us. Among the major developments, Prime Minister Skerrit commends the DSC administrators. The Social Welfare Division says child abuse remains a problem, and February 4, 2014 recognized as World Cancer Day. Stay with us for details of these and other stories right after the break.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. The Prime Minister and the Minister for Finance, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, is impressed with the manner in which the newly constructed Dominica State College is being cared for by its management team. The Prime Minister made the observation when he addressed the opening ceremony of a landscaping apprenticeship orientation and training program at the Dominica State College last week.
I came in here today and I'm very much impressed with the level of work you're doing to maintain these premises. And it's not only about maintaining it, but the pride with which you take, and that is important. Because the government has invested in excess of $33 million in this facility to help educate the children of Dominica in a facility that is conducive for learning. And see where we are this evening. And this is also a facility which belongs to the people of Yampes and Stockfar. And I am happy that you have taken ownership of it and to ensure that it can last us for a lifetime.
The Prime Minister says his government makes no apology for investing so significantly in the upgrade of the Dominica State College. The new Dominica State College was funded through a $30 million concessionary loan from the China Export-Import Bank.
There are many parts of the world, countries that are even much more advanced than us, who would love to have such a facility to provide education to their children. But this government saw it necessary to invest in our young people by providing the best facilities you can find anywhere in the world. And you can recall, myself in particular and the government in general, were very much criticized for contracting a loan to construct not only the State College but the State House and the 60 apartment units that we're now building in Bafa State and Emzo.
The newly constructed Dominica State College, outfitted with modern labs and classrooms, is now able to comfortably accommodate 2,000 students. In other news, there are several large and obvious developments ongoing in the Castlebrooks constituency, and there are others which are not easily observed. When GIS took the roads of that constituency recently, we met Petit Soufriere resident Romina Dangleben, who has seen a fulfillment of a personal promise made to her by government. Weeks after Dominica's head of government, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, visited Romina and pledged to improve access to her house, funding, and workers were mobilized to begin work. Romina has recently returned from eye surgery overseas. She lives with her husband, both are in their 70s. Prior to the commencement of the project, Romina struggled up and down a 225-foot road, which could only be described as a safety hazard, especially during rainfall. And now that conditions have been significantly improved at no cost to her, Romina is naturally very thankful.
Well, I am very happy about it. I'm very happy about it. I cannot even say it properly, but I am very happy. I will have to give my Father Skerrit a lot of thanks and praise.
Honorable Johnson Drago, parliamentary representative for that area, is pleased that yet another of his constituents can experience a more comfortable life. The progress and quality of the work is also of great importance to the constituency representative.
as simple as it may seem, this project is a very, very important project for the Dangleben family who lives in this area. We have, the husband is blind and the wife is partially blind. And it has been very difficult for them, for the family, moving through this well over 200 feet to get to their residence from the main road. The Prime Minister did visit the family at one of his visits to Pidisufue, and we promised the family that we would have constructed a footpath for them. We are happy that work is in progress. Well over almost 200 feet of footpath has already been constructed, and then we have to do a small box culvert for a crossing to complete the project. When the project is completed, we would have spent well over $30,000 in the footpath and the box culvert for the family, and so far we have spent over $14,000 has been spent thus far on the project, and the family, they are very happy, and we are very happy that we were able to do that for the family.
The parliamentary representative says the significance of the $30,000 project despite its simplicity. He says government takes initiatives such as this very seriously. As for Remina, one can tell just from her smiles that this road project means more than words can express. In related news, government has sought to secure the investments of Casabos farmers and residents by funding a project to dredge the area of the Casabos River. Not too far from the secondary school, over 2 miles of this river was dredged to relieve farmers and locals of disruption caused during heavy rainfall. Honorable Johnson Drago, parliamentary representative for the Casabos constituency, says heavy rainfall has meant crop damage to farmers of that area. He went further to detail the threat which the river poses to residents.
The road becomes impassable to Sansove, Good Hope, Pidisufue during heavy rain. Something had to be done about it. So we took a decision to dredge the river. It cost well over $250,000 for the overall job, but well over 500 feet of dredging was done in that river, and the job was a welcome job, because for the latter part of 2013, when we had heavy rains, the impact on the farmers were non-existent. All the water went straight to the bridge and into the ocean, and the farmers and the few persons who live in the area are very happy about it.
In other news, Gemma Azil, Luce, coordinator of the Child Abuse Prevention Unit, is reminding the nation that the issue of child abuse is still very much a concern to the authorities. In an exclusive interview with GIS News, the coordinator explored the existing situation in Dominica as it relates to child abuse. She began with the official definition of child abuse.
Child abuse is any maltreatment of a child, or anything that is done to a child that acts in the harming of the child, or the potential harm of a child, or the threat of harm to a child. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you actually have to physically touch a child, but if you put a child in a position where it can cause harm to the child, or it threatens harm to the child, it's considered to be child abuse. We go with the Convention on the Rights of the Child, and a child is considered to be anyone under the age of 18 years. Any human being that is under the age of 18, you are considered to be a child. And that is according to the Convention on the Rights of the Child, which we in Dominica have signed and ratified. Child abuse continues to be a problem in Dominica. It is something of major concern, and everyone should be concerned about child abuse. I always say that one child abused is one too many. We do not need to hear the statistics of 50 children being abused in Dominica and then for us to do something. One child being abused is one too many. If you have children being abused sexually under the age of 5, this is something of concern. And we have this happening in Dominica where children under the age of 5 have been sexually abused. We don't only speak of sexual abuse only because there are different forms of abuse. There's also physical abuse where you intentionally harm a child physically. That means it wasn't an accident, it was your intention of hurting a child physically.
According to the child abuse expert, neglect is also considered child abuse. This is the guardian's failure to provide adequate care and supervision for a child. Failure to meet the child's needs is also considered neglect. Emotional abuse is also a matter of concern to the Child Abuse Prevention Unit. According to Luce, although this form of abuse is not often recognized as abuse by the average person, emotional maltreatment is in fact of concern to the unit.
This is one of the least reported forms of abuse because persons tend to take it for granted and also tend to take it as a norm in society that children are emotionally abused in terms of belittling the child, name calling of the child, cursing the child in an attempt to motivate that child. We have a lot of that happening, but you find persons won't report it. And for instance, in cases of child emotional abuse that is reported to us, it is mainly the child who reports it. Because we do go out in the schools and speak to children as to what constitutes child abuse, and we do tell them the different forms of abuse. So when they hear that, when we tell them exactly what is the different forms of abuse, then you find they come to us and they tell us, well, this is what is happening to them. And it does constitute emotional abuse. But if you find that you won't find an adult reporting that a child is being emotionally abused. You would find the children reporting it. So this form of abuse is the least reported form of abuse, emotional abuse.
There is a continuous call by the Child Abuse Prevention Unit to curb and eventually eliminate cases of child abuse by reporting known incidents or suspicions of incidents. The coordinator says one form of abuse usually allows for another, and a repeat of the cycle of abuse. Simpler still, says Luce, is that the failure of persons to report cases of child abuse is indication of enabling the behavior. This too has consequences.
So if you know that child abuse is happening, you do nothing about it, it will continue. But if you report it, that means that the child can get help. The child can get the therapeutic services that they need in terms of counseling. Not only the child, but the family members, they can get that service. The perpetrator is put behind bars. They are arrested and charged for the incident, and it prevents them from doing it again because now persons are aware that this person is a sexual abuser, this person abused the child, and they're on the lookout for that person, especially in small communities where things are hardly kept a secret, you know. So persons are on the lookout. It does help, and it helps the child also because it also empowers the child to know that, you know, you did not do anything wrong to deserve being abused. Because a lot of the times what you see is that when children have been abused, they tend to think it was their fault because the abusers also put that in their mind that this is happening because of you, you know. So it also empowers the child to know that I have been abused, and it is not my fault. It is someone who disrespected me, someone who took away my innocence, and they are the ones to be blamed.
GIS News learned more of the work of the Child Abuse Prevention Unit. Look out for more information in a subsequent newscast. The University of the West Indies Open Campus Dominica, in collaboration with the Rex Nettleford Foundation, will on Thursday this week host the premiere of Renaissance Man, a documentary film on the life of Professor Rex Nettleford from 7:30 p.m. at the UWI Open Campus Dominica Auditorium. Professor Rex Nettleford, Vice Chancellor Emeritus of the UWI, who died in February 2010, was a Caribbean scholar, social critic, and choreographer. Throughout his career, it was his desire to illustrate to children of disadvantaged backgrounds that their place of origin need not define their outcome in life. This 45-minute documentary satisfies this objective as it tells the story of his life from rural Jamaica to being one of 4 people in the world selected for centenary celebrations of the Rhodes Scholarships at Oxford in honor of his outstanding and varied achievements. There is no entry fee, and the film viewing and discussion are open to the public. And finally, this news time, with individuals from every corner of the globe observing World Cancer Day 2014 today, Tuesday, the Dominica Cancer Society continues to be proactive in its efforts to draw awareness to cancer. In April of 2014, the Dominica Cancer Society, in collaboration with the wellness community of Boston, will host a fundraising cancer cruise in efforts to increase awareness and get individuals involved in supporting the cause. An Australian-based company has also provided scholarship sponsorships of $20,000 to the Dominica Cancer Society for organizing health workshops and programs. This year's World Cancer Day is being observed under the theme Debunk the Myths and focuses on what is called Target 5 of the World Cancer Declaration, which is to reduce stigma and dispel myths about cancer. Nationwide statistics have proven that cancer kills more people globally than AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis combined. Additionally, preventable and curable cancers kill millions of people every year. World Cancer Day is a chance to raise our collective voices on a global level to improve on general knowledge around cancer and dismiss misconceptions about that disease. While cancer can be a difficult topic to address, particularly in some cultures and settings, dealing with the disease openly can improve outcomes. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, in his 2013-2014 National Budget presentation, announced that his administration will, in the financial year, purchase a CT scan for the Princess Margaret Hospital. The CT scan is a useful tool in diagnosing cancer. Government also provides an annual subvention of $30,000 EC to the Dominica Diabetes Association to assist with its operation. This will help in the cause in preventing cancer, since diabetes doubles the risk of liver, pancreas, and endometrial cancer, and increases the risk of breast and bladder cancer by 20 to 50%. GIS will bring you an update on these initiatives by the Dominica Cancer Society in a subsequent newscast. And that's all for the English segment of the news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Banque Développement Kawaii pour financer policy pour gouverner terre en Dominique, ça a créé Land Use Policy. Parole celle-là sorti du ministre Environ, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow.
Initiative moi nous parler de National Land Use Policy, c'est un projet qui a financé pour CDB. Of course, consultancy advertise consultancy en regional, a compagnie Trinidad. CDB a engagé une compagnie Trinidad pour mettre policy ça en place. C'est ça qui a fait que c'est comme compagnie ça là qu'elle avec tous ces stakeholders là qui tout le monde qui n'est pas pour faire land use. En 6 mois yo qu'elle présente national policy ça pour cabinet. Après nous hope nous espérer que cabinet qui endorse un policy ça là hot policy ça nous dans lot phase project là ça c'est développer un national physical development plan là la local zone pays pour qui pas dominer qui bon pour faire tel développement. So c'est une question c'est dominer qui bien important.
On a une nouvelle travail bâti chimie qui prend place en Cassebros à présent. Plaisir d'autres travail qui prend place en Wassala. Parole celle-là qui a sorti au Parlement, Honorable Johnson Drago.
Le plus gros projet à nous à présent, c'est un chimie fonblé. Le gouvernement nous a fait 2 walls pour nous finir chimie ça, sorti chocho pour venir en fonblé. Et puis nous avons dépensé là encore plus de $200,000 en area ça pour nous complimenter chimie nous déjà fait en chocho. Nous aussi avons fait travail qui vit encore la chimie Rosalie. Ça nous a marché pour faire à présent, c'est pour péter washmark et puis il y a venir et puis ça courir explosif pour nous péter washmark et pour nous ouvrir chimie. Avant de ça fini, faut attaquer passer la chimie Rosalie. Comme ça chimie Rosalie, c'est un gift for gouvernement Venezuela pour moun puis souffrir et puis dominicain par exemple. So nous bien contents et puis travail là gouvernement a fait nous à constituency.
En la nouvelle, membre parlement pour Kalinago, Honorable Ashton Grano, qui a fait parole pour mieux terminer comme membre parlement, servait pour avancer conditions PEP Kalinago. Honorable Grano aussi bien plaisir quantité Kalinago, qui a attendu collège et puis université. Quand même si l'Honorable Grano, autant attention qu'a mis à ses affaires économiques pour PEP Kalinago. On l'autre l'occasion, Honorable Grano mentionné, c'est Lizine Fawin, bagay qui a mis attention en poche à Kalinago. Ça c'est qu'a mis autant l'argent. Honorable Grano aussi mentionné agriculture, toute qualité à Dawi. Finalement, Discover Dominic Authority a continué et il faut avancer plus well Avignon pour venir Dominique. Parole celle-là sorti au chairman Discover Dominic Authority, M. Benoît Badwell.
Et access c'est un challenge parce que plus qu'on savait nous avons trouvé plus de monde qui est intéressant Dominique avec avion. Le gouvernement dépensé l'argent en Mervin Hall avec ça qui a profité de nous bien parce que à présent plus de monde qui vient le soir. Parce que vous parlez ça vient la soir avant. Nous avons un avion qui descend Dominique 10h bon matin. Ça c'est bonne nouvelle. Nous avons dit comme que nous avons travaillé avec ces gens-là avec pli et tini pli intéressant pour moun vin avion vin Dominique. Nous avons travaillé avec ça. Nous connaissons d'autres avions qui veulent venir et bien à présent nous avons parlé, nous avons discuté avec eux. Pli les intéressants là qu'a haussé et qu'a fait pli meilleur pour Dominique parce que pli nous a tapé moun Dominique même jour. Il a fait plus meilleur pour l'hôtel moun là, il a fait plus meilleur pour moun faire business Dominique. Si vous savez pour vous pas pour rester dans l'autre pays, vous avez venir Dominique même jour.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson, St. Luce. Au revoir.
Together we build, together we strive. We see it all on your Government Information Service, Channel 7. This is the Government Information Service, bringing you all that you need to know about all that's happening in your country's development. GIS, you and your channel.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm. Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Mervin. Thank you so much for watching.